What's going on, everybody? Liam here, Everything NYJ. Happy Friday. I am not breaking this news by any means necessary. I wanted to get a video out earlier, but because of work, I was unable to. But Robert Saleh today during his press conference announced that quarterback Mike White will not be playing Sunday against the Lions. Zach Wilson will be getting the start because of Mike White's rib injury. Robert Saleh refused to go into detail on how severe it is, but we don't know if this is going to be a long-lasting thing with his ribs. Ribs are a very tricky injury. Um, I know people who have plenty of broken ribs, and it takes a long time to heal. It really does. Obviously, the hindsight is 2020, but going back to the Buffalo Bills game for a second here, it's so tricky because Mike White was hanging with one of the best teams in all football. Going into halftime, it was only 7-0. The Jets were trailing by just a touchdown. He was playing very well. He gets hurt, on some clean hits, just really hard clean hits. Joe Flacco comes in. You could tell he didn't want to be there. He looked like he couldn't be bothered. He comes in, he throws an incomplete pass. He fumbles the ball, strip fumble, terrible. Couldn't continue to roll with him, right? You really couldn't. So he comes back in, he gets injured again. Mike White has earned all of Jet Nation's respect. He's earned all of my respect. He's a warrior, one of the toughest kids I've seen play the game at the quarterback position, no doubt. It's like on one hand, yes, he had to come in and play because we were playing for a lot. This was a very meaningful game, divisional game. It was in reach the whole time, and Mike White gave us the best chance to win. But on the other hand, at what point were we supposed to save the player from the player? Of course, Mike White was going to go back in. And this isn't to point fingers at Robert Saleh or anything because the doctors allowed Mike White to come back in. They cleared him to come back in. And they cleared him this week after he went to the hospital. They continued to clear him, regular doctors. The New York Jet doctors, however, cleared him for practice, but they did not clear him for contact. So he cannot take any contact. So they are saving Mike White from Mike White because Mike White would have played. He says he feels great and he would play. So now Zach Wilson is getting the go. I'm excited for this. I really am. I don't want to see any of this debate. I don't want to see any Zach Wilson versus Mike White and oh my God, what happens if Zach Wilson White lights it up? Let's worry about that when the time comes. Let Zach Wilson light it up first before we have any quarterback controversy. Seriously. The Detroit Lions defense is really not all that great. I mean, yeah, they have Aiden Hutchinson, a couple other guys. They're decent. I don't want to discount them. But on the other hand, Zach Wilson is still the second overall pick. He has not lived up to that hype at all. But now we need to see if this reset really worked for Zach Wilson because he's running out of excuses. We gave him time off. He linked back up with his personal quarterback coach, John Beck. Does he have his mechanics fixed in these last 3 games that he's missed? Sitting on the bench, has he really learned? We're going to see a lot. We're going to see where Zach Wilson is as a quarterback against the Detroit Lions. The Jets on paper are a better team. Detroit is a dome team. They're going to be playing out in the elements, something that they historically have not done well. So it's going to be very interesting. Yesterday, I did a video on what if Zach Wilson comes in, what are his expectations? Go check that out. I'll reiterate it a little bit here. Don't be the reason that we lose. Get into the end zone, make the easy look easy. Just play within the offense, play within the system. At this point, Corey Davis is not playing. He's still on the concussion protocol. He's going to be out on Sunday. So we're probably going to be seeing a lot of Garrett Wilson. We're probably going to be seeing a lot of Elijah Moore. I hope we could see some Zach Wilson to Elijah Moore. We have yet to see that this season. We're probably going to see a lot of Braxton Berrios. We're probably going to see Bam Knight getting featured. Just play fundamentally sound football. That's all I'm asking. You don't need to go out and play hero ball. You don't need to throw for 400 yards. Just complete your passes, make the easy look easy. Don't get too crazy. Don't start running in circles and running up and down 30, 40 yards on the field. Try your best to stand in the pocket. George Fant should be back. George Fant should be good to go. So that should be a plus. This offensive line is still not good. So when your pocket breaks down, I don't mind scrambling for a couple yards, but it can't just be one of those situations where you snap the ball and you start running in circles. He does it. He runs in a circle and then he runs up and down the field. I don't understand some of the decision making that Zach Wilson does with his legs. But with that being said, clean a lot of that up. Have a full command of your offense. That's all I'm asking for, man. Me and Gino, we're going to go into greater detail about this tonight on the podcast, 11 o'clock Eastern time. Catch you guys there. That's it for me. Have a good day. Talk Jets soon.